girls, welcome to the upper mid Ohio of Miami in St. Petersburg. Make sure you get out on your porch because I am very attractive, and with me as always is the creative driving force behind Half-Life 3, Magas.
Oh, that's giving me far too much credit.
Is it? Do you know the story of Half-Life 3, sir?
It implies I had something to do with Half-Life 2, though.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, we are here at Mid-Ohio. This is actually one of my favorite racetracks because I've actually raced around this track. So, we have a special connection.
Did you just like Naruto run?
No. I was in a car. And it's one of 3 racetracks in Race Room that I've actually been to and been on the track. So that's cool.
Very nice.
Puts it in very elite company. Watkins, Glen, and Road America are the other 2. I am real cheese people. Anyways, here at Mid-Ohio for the 5th round of the ESR Tugas and eSRA Porsche 911 Cup Series. And, Ricardo Costa in the Castrol car having a little bit of a spin. We're looking forward to some good stuff here. Mid-Ohio produces some excellent racing. Tobias Thierolf on pole right now from Henrik Andreas and Andrew D. Martin Edmonds, Rene Armour, this man Bertrand Barrier, followed by Magic Kazchuk, James Butler, Javier Vega, and Max Simmons, your top 10. Simmons is way down on the grid. Interesting. Not used to seeing Simmons down in 10th place. When was the last time we saw that, Mr. Byron?
I believe it was a couple of weeks ago because he's just a young kid, doesn't know how to drive yet. I don't even know if he's old enough to order his own Sody Pop.
He is ahead of Roby Bartz, though.
That is true, although if we know anything, you're probably in danger.
Yeah, I didn't say that was a good place to be necessarily. Roby Bartz does tend to have a lot of excitement around him. Andy Darnell, Vic Vega, Luciano Echazo is way down the pecking order as well in 14th place ahead of Ricardo Costa and Captain Bash. Plus anybody who didn't post a lap time, and as a result, we haven't seen. There is Max Simmons in his purple FedEx car heading out on track for the warm-up.
But what about the warm down?
I don't think you really want to do a warm down in this race, but that's your call, I guess.
Warm it up side to side.
Andrew D starting from P3. That's a little bit high for Andrew D, so it looks like he's got a connection with this track, perhaps similar to my own. So, Byron, how's your day been?
The worst. I woke up, kind of dicked around for a while, took out the garbage. I may or may not have got the right day to do that. I'll just go out tomorrow and check the bin. I don't care.
Fair enough. My goal tomorrow will be to finalize my bedroom layout and get it all spruced up and ready for not being full of all kinds of stuff, I guess, in a nutshell.
Spoiler alert. He's going to throw it all away and use a hammock.
No. There's going to be a bed. There's going to be 2 dressers, 2 shelving units, and a little rolly thing that I got from my parents, which is very, very, very handy because it rolls around and it's like a table plus a chest plus it can go anywhere anywhere you want in the room.
It is literally Starscream in disguise.
It is quite possibly Starscream disguised as a pine chest. And it also looks really, really nice. It was made by a family friend of ours that is a carpenter that specializes in old style stuff.
Nice.
So it's very, very nice. And then it'll be about figuring out how the rest of the apartment's going to go because there's a lot of room here now with just me instead of 2 other people. My lord, did they have a ton of stuff because we were moving, we had to make like 7 trips to get all their stuff out of this apartment. Jesus.
Have you tried just using a pitchfork?
It was getting tempting. Haven't decided where everything goes yet, but we're getting there.
Where's the meat hook station going to be?
There is going to be no meat hook station.
What are you going to do with the bodies?
That's what the garage is for.
Oh, very nice.
Do need to get me a spice rack, though. Or a little shelf for my spices, because I have a lot of spices.
Me and myself as well. I've got like half my cupboard space is jars of spices. I've got a new spice on the way actually right now from India.
Oh, what you got?
Long pepper.
Long pepper. Okay.
Yeah, apparently it's not really related. Yeah, it's not really related to other peppercorn plants at all. But then half the peppercorn plants you see out, or peppercorns you see out there aren't. So there's that. But apparently, like, it looks like a really small, long, thin pine cone. And apparently, before the advent of travel to the Americas and the discovery of chilies and stuff like that, long pepper used to be the stuff that everybody needed to get if they wanted anything to be spicy.
Gotcha.
Because apparently it's spicy as shit. So if you thought regular black pepper was the business and white pepper is a bit extreme, apparently this stuff is like a notch above that.
YouTube is recommending I watch an astronaut ranks fictional spaceships. I'm probably going to do that afterwards.
That sounds pretty
That
dope.
seems like it'd be a fun time.
They might know some shit.
So we'll probably watch that, and then we go and watch some Witcher after we do this commentary. So
Toss a Witcher at your corner. Oh, bitch is so thirsty. Whoa.
hopefully before my next, we'll be done with Witcher by the next time my Netflix tries to renew, so I can cancel it for a little bit.
Well, we would have been done months ago, but you keep avoiding me. I'm gonna watch just as soon as I'm done watching Babylon 5. Okay, cool. Well,
I finished Babylon 5 actually.
They came out with Babylon 6. Now I gotta watch that. Oh, okay.
This is actually the first time I watched Babylon 5 the whole way through.
I have never watched Babylon 5 other than the movies. I've seen all the movies because somebody got me the set for Christmas
good stuff.
one year.
It's good stuff. I enjoyed it.
Well, I have it. I may have borrowed it from the internet, so I probably will do at some point. But right now, my life is on hold, and I can do nothing else but wait for The Witcher.
Well, we got like 45 minutes to Witcher. So
oh my god! Drive faster, you assholes.
Grid is forming up here to be led away by Tobias Thierolf at the front of the pack.
I haven't seen Yaskier do anything completely jackanapes in quite a while.
His testicles were crushed.
Well, firmly squeezed anyway.
Oh. No, that was the storyline they had when they caught him cheating at one point. He got kicked by a horse in the nuts. They're totally gone.
It's just a cup check. You'll be fine.
Just a cup check. Just to check Congo.
Equipment check.
Somebody taking their time joining the grid here.
Go on with it.
We are going to be ready to go. Here we go. So we have 16 cars out on track, although Ricardo Costa has ended up behind Captain Bass, so I suspect it might have been him that was slow to join. Javier Vega possibly getting a drive-through penalty for a false start there. I think that popped up there. I couldn't quite read it in time. And indeed, somebody is in the pits. I believe that is Ricardo Costa not joining the festivities. That's a shame. We enjoy Ricardo. Henrik Andreasen has taken the lead at the start. In fact, the outside row got a very good start there. Rene Ermer up into third place ahead of Andrew D. Martin Edmonds, Magic Kaschuk, Javier Vega, Bertrand Barrier, James Butler, just adjusted. Romain Barthez and James Butler rounding off your top 10. Max Simmons down to 12. Thierolf has been pretty dominant in this series. And he runs in second place right now. I will give you the rundown on his stats. He has won races at Watkins Glen, at Oschersleben, and at Portimao. He was second place at the Nordschleife and second place at the second Portimao race. Those races were won by Rene Ermer at the Nordschleife and Thomas Centeno at Portimao. No Thomas Centeno here today.
No, he died in that race.
But he did not.
Oh, it's Senna, my bad.
That is Ayrton Senna you're thinking of, as Bertrand Barrier goes past Javier Vega into 7th place. Battle of France and Spain. Tale as old as time.
Have they done the warm-up lap yet?
They have done the warm-up lap, and they have done the first lap. They're on lap number 2.
Yeah, I didn't see enough action. Come on, boys, let's go.
There's been plenty of action. There's just not been carnage. That's what you...
Oh, well, I mean, you say tomato, I say blood.
On board with James Boutelier. Right ahead of him, Romy Bartz. Man, Barthez. And Butler got very out of shape. Oh, still out of shape. Luciano Chazo all over his back end. Max Simmons has dropped back to 15th place. So something happened with the Max. And Roman Barthez overtaking Javier Vega for 8th place. So Vega falling back.
Javier.
Martin Edmonds running in 5th place. On the tail of Andrew D for top Canadian honors. And that is Captain Bash off, and I believe Max Simmons as well.
How come Captain Bash and Dive Bomb aren't... Oh, maybe they're the same person.
It could be.
Never see them in the same race at the same time.
I think we did at one point, actually.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
I could
So
be
much
wrong.
for that theory.
Could be wrong. Bertrand Barrier, 7th place, is putting the pressure on Magic Kazchuk in the yellow and black car.
Martin's just got a new Discord chat room. It's called Carpron.
Ah.
Nicely done.
Very nice, very nice.
I plan on putting something up in the recipe room experience tomorrow myself. Gonna have
you got a little teaser?
Well, groceries are going to be delivered tomorrow, and there's going to be a boatload of pasta because it was on sale. And I just so happen to have made a mountain of meat sauce.
Oh.
So, also, there might be cheese involved.
I would hope so. You are real cheese people.
I am the realest of cheese people. I invented the cheese. I am one with the cheese.
I mean, you didn't actually invent the cheese. The cheese was around already. But you found new and creative ways to do things.
No, me cheese created.
Tobias Thierolf still running in 2nd place. Him and Henrik Andreasen getting a little bit of a cushion at the front of the pack. They're up about 2.5 seconds over 3rd place car of Rene Armour, as you can see him in the background. Battling with Andrew D and Martin Evans. And that is Javier Vega spinning around and dropping through the field.
I can feel it heavy in the air tonight.
I don't know if Javier can feel it because he was running well in the top 10 and now he's back in 14th place.
He's gonna feel it. He's gonna feel it real good.
I don't know if him and Mid Ohio have that connection.
They're about to become very intimate.
Oh, how dirty!
Oh yeah. Oh, that didn't look good.
That's one of the Castrol cars in the barrier. Ricardo Costa dropping back through the field. So Costa did join the race despite starting from pit lane. It's good to see. He's now running in 15th spot. On board with Bertrand Barrier. He's in a Kazchuk and Barthez sandwich. Running in 7th place. We know Barrier has immense pace. The question has always been, how does he deal with traffic as one of the Monster Energy cars goes off? that is Luciano Achazo, who will fall backwards to Vic Vega up in 9th place. Go Vic. There's Achazo rejoining. Thierol still on the tail of Henrik Andresen. Congratulations are in order for Tobias Thierol, whose Bronx character is finally hitting comfortably above 200. Took a while. Took a while for me to stop making Mendoza jokes about him. Still need to do better, though, Toby. Still need to do better.
I think somebody needs to do better, but it might not be him.
I think he is probably the most underachieving player on the team, actually.
Well, then maybe you, sir, need to use more power swings.
Bertrand Barry. Oh, I don't think that would go well at all. I am terrible with the power swing.
Couldn't be worse.
It could. It could.
Well, I mean, if the character's already not performing, just use it as an experimental test bed.
Him and really, he's the only. There's a couple other people that are struggling, but like they're not good hitters to like begin with. It's not their function.
Wow.
Adam David Brosh, for example, his function is go out there and steal bases. That's really about it. And play good defense. Whereas Tobias Thierol doesn't have a good arm, doesn't have a good glove. He's kind of just there to hit. And if you're kind of there to just hit, you can't be hitting 220.
Who does he think he is, Nate?
James Butler is off track and rejoining. I was going to say, who does he think he is? Adam Dunn, but he doesn't even have the home runs.
Wow. Who does he think he is? Chuck Knobloch?
Hey, Knobloch was a great defender, sir. Amazing defender.
Funniest name in baseball history.
It's up there. It's up there.
What's your name? Chuck Knobloch.
Who would be my pick for the actual
Mookie.
Funniest name in baseball history?
Mookie's up there.
Mookie Betts is up there.
Mookie Blaylock.
Well, it's
basketball. Right.
That's basketball. He's an Atlanta Hawk.
There was another. I want to say that there was another Mookie at the same time Mookie Blaylock was playing. The other one played baseball.
Perhaps.
I just don't remember. I was a child.
There have been a couple of good names over the years.
Like Dave Nelson. Whoa.
Oh. And that's Rene Erber running wide. That was the third place car. Hands a spot to Andrew D. and Martin Evans is also third. Breaking up the all-European podium. And I think that was Luciano Achaza we saw off earlier as well in the Monster Energy cart.
Monstrously so.
Homer Bush, that's up there for most amusing names.
Not bad.
And I think we might have lost Luciano as he has dropped to the back of the pack.
If you're really not careful.
Judging by how far Ricardo Costa is behind, which is by a minute, I think that suggests that he may be out of this race.
No. If you're really not careful about your pronunciation, the Necro brothers may be an amusing name.
Maybe.
Good old Phil and I don't remember the other brother's name.
I always enjoyed Rafael Puig.
Yeah.
It's a fun name.
Puig. What happened? He fucking burned out, didn't he?
Still around, but yeah, he's not the player that he was.
I think he's playing in the Mexican League.
I think he's still in the majors technically. But I think he's like a fourth outfielder now instead of a superstar.
I think that you, sir, are not correct.
It's possible I'm not correct. David Justice was always a good name as Tobias Thierol goes for the lead and is through into the lead. And Richie Sexton, who were teammates for a while in Cleveland.
Indeed, the Sextons.
And just because it greatly amuses me, there is a player in the major leagues named Ryan Noblin. So there you go. But that name is only amusing to other baseball fans.
Correct. Ooh, oh, there you go. There's, shall we say, super bad touching accusations against Yasiel Puig.
Oh.
That was as of last year.
That's not good. I always like the name Marquise Grissom. I just like saying it.
It is good. It does roll off the tongue. Like Kenny Lofton. Some reason or other, that name also sounded good all the time.
Then you would have been a big fan of the Cleveland Indians in the late '90s because they went from Kenny Lofton to Marquise Grissom to Kenny Lofton as their center fielder.
There you go. Puig currently playing in the South Korean League for the Kiwoom Heroes. Oh man, if he gets to win that title, he gets to hold the sword.
Hideo Nomo also up there.
There you go. Wasn't there a Korean pitcher named Kwok?
There's been a couple.
I'm gonna Kwok around the clock tonight.
Pretty common Korean name.
Kwok, kwok, kwok.
Biho Ryu has got to be up there.
There's one report where Puig may or may not have settled the legal problems out of court.
Wait, legal problems or civil problems? Because if it's legal problems, that's illegal. That would be illegal.
Yeah.
That would just be creating other illegal
This
problems.
would be, well, civil yet legal. It's a lawsuit.
I see.
No charges pressed.
Oh, somebody out there, one of the Castrol cars. Indeed, we have confirmation, by the way, that Chazo out of the race. You can see him sitting in the pit lane there. So it does look like he's going to try and to be out here for race number 2. So that's appreciated. Not sure what the reverse grid situation is here. I'm assuming top 10, but we'll find out. Martin Edmonds still on the tail of Andrew D for that 3rd place. Rene Armour, after going off, is going comfortably in 5th. Barrier, Barthez, Kaschuk, Vega, and Darnell rounding off the top 10 currently.
I was right. He was playing in the Mexican League.
Somebody off.
Dang.
I think that's Captain Bash.
He was playing for El Aguila de Veracruz. In 62 games,
I think Captain Bash has parked it.
No!
He's retired from the race.
It's almost as if he's named himself something prophetic.
Well, he didn't seem bash anything.
Well, I mean, he might have. Therefore, not racing.
Roman Barthez tucked up behind Bertrand Barrier. Gonna make a move. These two are both very, very fast, but they can get a little bit of elbows out. They can get a little bit of argy-bargy. So I think the camera will probably be checking in on that battle a fair bit. It's Martin Evans still trying to take that 3rd place off of Andrew D. How has Martin's season gone? Oh, quite well, actually. So he had a podium at Watkins Glen, taking 3rd place. He's also had an 8th, a 4th, and 2 5ths at Portimao and Nordschleife. So he's had a pretty good run. What about Andrew D? How's his season gone? Pretty okay. 7th place at the season opener at Oschersleben. And a 6th, 8th, 6th, and an 8th again. So, hasn't had a top 5 yet, but he's been doing pretty well. Bertrand Barrier holding off Roman Barthez once again. Battle for 6th place. Andrew D does have the intel inside, running in 3rd place. Oh, big wipeout there. Magic Kazchuk in the barrier. Can't remember
Just
that
trying to hit
turn
that cup
name
car.
off the top of my head. I think that's Thunder coming out of Thunder Valley, I think. I think you'd enjoy the names of the Mid-Ohio corners, so let me give them to you.
Francisco.
So here we go. So you've got turn 1, easy, keyhole. Then you got China Beach, the S's, Thunder Valley, the Carousel, and my personal favorite, the Kink.
Very nice. Word on the street is that the S's are actually shaped like the number 5.
Not quite, but there is a track where the S's are kind of shaped like number 5. I want to say there's another solidly named turn, but I can't remember it off the top of my head, and it's not presenting itself on any of the maps. But I swear there was another one. Martin Edmonds still putting the pressure on Andrew D here with 12 minutes to go.
Put him in the wall!
14 cars still circulating. Defending well and legally.
Here we go.
There's a lot of interesting possible overtake spots here if you plan out 2-3 turns in advance, because there's a lot of slide, a lot of lateral movement that comes through here, and presents itself with some interesting opportunities. But you got to be thinking kind of well out in advance. As Ricardo Costa has a spin. We ride with him on his recovery there. Also, we'd like to say, give fond wishes to the retirement of John Picha, who has called his sim racing career quits.
No! Does that mean he's going to move into the booth with us?
I mean, the option is there. We extend the option to the Peach to come and give us his freshly squeezed goodness.
Indeed. Why for no race more any?
Just said at the age has he's seen himself get distracted a little bit during the races. A little bit of that mental focus is gone. Ricardo Costa having this been
fair enough.
He is hanging his spurs up for the time being. We'll badger him probably at some point to come into retirement.
Might I recommend just stadium trucks?
I know he was doing that seniors league for a bit and seemed quite happy with it. So I don't know what happened. They had a whole league, I believe, that required you to be over 65 to participate.
My way more than that.
Age, years, not pounds.
Oh, boring.
Somebody off in the background. That could be Costa. It was one of the Castrol cars. Looks like he is having a particularly rough day. He's out there soldiering on, and we appreciate that. Meanwhile, at the front, Tobias Thierolf leads by 2.1 seconds, and he's on his way, it looks like, to his 4th victory of the season. Having a fairly dominant show in the championship, coming into today with 119 points.
Where did he find all those?
Well, by winning races.
Boring. Got to sneak around and take them from people.
Rene Ermer is starting to catch up to the battle for 3rd place, but not a particularly rapid rate. Roman Barthez has fallen off the back of Bertrand Barrier, so he's comfortable in 6th place. And Barthez has a solid gap back to the damaged car of Magic Kaschuk, with Andy Darnell and Javier Vega rounding off the top 10, and Max Simmons keeping them in close proximity. Attempt around the inside there by Max Simmons. He moves into the top 10, supplanting Javier Vega. Vega is not done with him, though. See if he can get him back here in the 7.5 minutes remaining. It's going to be about 5 laps, probably?
I believe it will be 93 laps.
As Ricardo Costa recovers from another trip into the beach.
See, that's what they need to do. They need to do races like Battle Royale style. So, you know, each lap, maybe every 5 laps, the track gets smaller and smaller. So then
Not really sure how you would functionally do that.
Then you just blow in a donut. You're just power sliding donuts around this little small area. Ding, 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 ding. Just racking up laps.
Not really sure a lot of things need to do things Battle Royale style, for me, completely honest.
Well, I mean, even Battle Royales didn't need to do that because that was already just what we like to call deathmatch. Back in the day, that was just one of the game modes you could play on every first-person shooter.
Yep.
It was not a genre, and still is not a genre. It's just a tiny fraction of a game that they decided not to make the rest of the
Somebody
game.
clipped the curb there, and then it's Andrew D dropping through the order.
Delightful.
And somehow he's regained the position. Interesting. I'm not sure what happened there. Might be experiencing some oh, there it is. I was gonna say we might be experiencing some connection issues as Bertrand Barrier is facing the wrong direction. And Andrew D has pinged out, unfortunately. If we were to go on board with him, we would probably get the "my people need me" moment where he's flying off into space. Unfortunate turn of events for a guy who looked like he was on for a podium. But that podium spot might go to Martin Edmonds. Max Simmons has wound up dropping behind Vega and Darnell again. So he's back down to 10th place. Magic Kaschuk running without most of his front end. You see him in the black and orange car. Losing
Black
ground
and
to
orange.
Darnell and
Those
Vega,
pretty
but
close.
catching is one thing, passing is another.
I heard that black and orange will probably
Black and
win
yellow, black and yellow.
the Grey Cup.
I doubt it. I don't think your BC Lions
Wow.
have a great chance.
Well,
I'd have to say the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are probably.
Nope. Nope. They're not even a real team.
They look very good right now.
They're basically just Rough Riders 2.0.
They look very good right now.
We'll just take them out of
My Hamilton Tiger Cats are going to the playoffs. Andy Darnell getting dive bombed a bit there by Vega, I think unintentionally. Two of them are catching up to Kaschuk, who is running with damage. So, battle for 7th is a 3-way fight. Interesting to see Max Simmons struggling this badly back in 10th place. Keep in mind, there are only 13 cars running.
Well, I believe it's because of all the heroin.
Ricardo Costa cutting across the grass again. Costa's having a rough day. Mid-Ohio and him do not mesh. As we head into the first turn, side by side, Darnell versus Kaschuk. Kaschuk goes wide, Darnell is through, and also through is Javier Vega. Three minutes to go, and probably 2 more laps. We'll probably be looking at a 20-lap race.
Here, the winner of this race gets to eat their weight in Pop-Tarts.
Well, I mean, they could. They could do that. I will say, Andy Darnell's had a quiet day at the office, and looks like he might take home a 7th or 8th place for his troubles. It's a nice day's work. Oh, and I say this, and he goes wide onto the curb. Vega with a chance to make the move now to the inside. That'll turn into the outside, though, at the carousel. And he gets a little too outside there, and that's going to work out for Darnell, at least for now. As they begin lap 19. Max Simmons has cleared Magic Kaschuk in the background. That is 9th place for Simmons. Kaschuk is just trying to hang on to a top 10 finish here. Side-by-side action up ahead. Vega versus Darnell. Vega's got the inside line. Darnell, though, takes it here in the keyhole. Will indeed retain the lead. The Earl leading by 4.6 seconds. That gap has grown pretty comfortable. Over Andreasen, Edmonds is more or less on his own, pulling away a little bit from Rene Armour. Barrier probably will round off the top 5, and then this is the battle here. This is the Darnell in 7th, Vega in 8th, Simmons in 9th. That's the battle. A little further back, Vic Vega is trying to take a top 10 away from Magic Kaschuk. Darnell gets very wide coming out of Thunder Valley. And he's going to try. No, and he's not even going to try. He's going to lose that spot well before the carousel to Javier Vega, and now has to worry about Max Simmons. They head on to the final lap here, lap number 20.
Word is that Max Simmons once killed a man in Tijuana.
I'd hope not. He's too young for that.
He's 37.
He is not, sir.
That's possible.
How dare you spread such slander?
Slander? It's merely public opinion.
By public opinion, you mean your opinion?
Publicly, yes.
On board with Max Simmons there through the keyhole as he's looking to pull up from 9th place to possibly could finish as high as 7th here. Checker flag is out. Tobias Theorolf is your winner. Henrik Andreasen will join him on the podium along with Martin Edmonds. 7th, 8th, and 9th are still very much up for grabs, as is 10th place. We've lost Andrew D, Captain Bash, and Luciano Ichazo for the race. Darnell makes a mistake there coming out of Thunder Valley. That's where he is weak right now. And Simmons will say, thank you very much. I'll take 8th place. And we'll find out what the reverse grid implications are for that. Magic Kaschuk hangs on to 10th place. That might be really important as we are with somebody who is off in the atmosphere. Yep, there is Andrew D.
He has been destroyed.
He has been deconnected, that's for sure. Fastest lap to Henrik Andreasen, a minute 29.429. Very impressive.
Most impressive.
Most impressive. And we'll set up here for race number 2 with, I assume, some form of reverse grip.
Nope, rip.
There's the track time racing rig and 3D motion or 3 motion simulator for those of you interested in such products.
I am highly interested because that looks like the best way to watch cooking shows on the internet. Possibly.
Let's see, what's the I wonder what the cost of the rig is actually.
$5.
I assume we're going to get a cut here to something or
Nope.
Nope. That's it.
Maybe.
Oh, there we go. Warm up has begun. We have a 15-minute sprint race here, so let's see. Star here, hardware. Let's look at some prices.
$5. Possibly $7.
Well, the race rigs run anywhere from $500 to 500 euros, I should say, to 800 euros. And for the motion rig, if you were to want that, you're looking at 14,499 euros.
Jameis, why don't you just go buy a car?
At that point, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I am all about the pretty expensive stuff. If we're being honest, like it's a hobby that requires a certain investment.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit much. I'm looking at these static simulators. I'm like, why are these so expensive? And it's like, oh no, the hardware is actually included as well. Okay. It's not the hardware you'd want, but it's there. I guess you could sell it. Looking at the track time, race rig, TT55 and TT33. I'm trying to figure out what the difference between the two is actually, and I'm not yet really figuring it out. Slightly different seat, I guess, but there's a €100 price differential. As the guys get all warmed up and ready to go here. Race number 2.
Race number 2 of 75.
2 of 2.
We'll race until somebody keels over.
We've got 2 rounds left this season. We're going to Interlagos in Brazil and the TT Circuit in Assen, the Netherlands.
There will be sloths on the track.
Maybe, maybe not. Interlagos is a really fun circuit. I'm not overly familiar with the TT circuit from a race car standpoint. I've seen a lot of motorcycle racing there, but not a lot of 4 wheels. Looks like Max Simmons will start on pole, so it looks like we have a top 8 reverse grip. We'll see if we get confirmation on that. That would make sense with Javier Vega starting from P2. But Rene Ermer from P6 doesn't make sense then, because he would be he finished in 4th place in a top 8 reverse. That should put him 5th. Should be Martin Edmonds going from P6.
I'm going to pee all over the place.
Maybe. Big tank slapper there from Ermer. I hope he got that out of his system before the race, because that could be costly.
You tear your tank right off, and then you got no gas.
All right, grid forming up. That is Magic Kazchuk near the front. He started, he finished P10, so it looks like top 10 reverse grid, but it depends if anybody is left. Let's find out here. Looks like Andy Darnell joining him at the front. Kazchuk, Darnell. Simmons starts from 3rd ahead of Vega. Then Barthez, Barrier, Ermer, Edmonds, Andreasen, Thirol. So just top 10 reverse grid. Vega, Butler, and Costa rounding off the field. Just 13 cars. We are off, and we are already looking 3 wide heading into turn 1. Kazchuk retaining the lead for the time being. Vega to the far inside. He's looking to make some moves. That's going to turn to the outside. Simmons is up into 2nd place. Vega 3rd. Barthez 4th. Falling backwards is Darnell. He's down to 6th place, having started 2nd. Going side by side now with Martin Edmonds. No, that's not Martin Edmonds. That's Rene Ermer. He's going side by side. Battling over 6th place or 5th place, and Ermer wins out. So Kazchuk, Simmons, Vega, Barthez, Ermer, Darnell, Andreasen, Edmonds, Barrier, Butler, your top 10. Thirolf has fallen back to 11th place. There are more than 13 cars because Luciano Achazo has moved into the top 13, passing Ricardo Costa. So we got that glitch where we're only getting 13 on the tower again. Javier Vega running in 3rd. Big chance for guys like him and Max Simmons to show their stuff because they've got the pace. But it's a short race, and they're ahead of most of the big guns. We'll see if they can get a result that that pays off for them.
But
also for Kazchuk, I don't
crash.
quite have him in that same group, but he is another quick driver, and he's up in the lead right now. Doesn't quite have the pedigree of Max Simmons, though. Edmonds up into 5th place. Ermer has fallen way back. Not sure what happened to him, but he's running in 13th now. And there's Bertrand Barrier also off track. And I don't see Tobias Thirolf, so we might have lost him.
Well, sir, I would recommend you keeping better track of your drivers.
Overtake for Luciano Achazo there, making his way past Vic Vega into 9th place. Andreasen, 2nd place in race 1, up into 5th. Oh no! Kazchuk spins it around! Did he lose it, or did Max Simmons nudge him into that spin? I didn't see.
I believe it was Draymond Green's fault.
Getting some steamy contact there with James Butler as well as the fellow Brit takes 7th place. So Simmons in to lead, Vega second, Edmonds in third. Barthez in fourth as one of the Castrol cars is off track there. Probably Ricardo Costa. It is. And Andreasen goes up the inside of Edmonds looking for that podium. Andreasen's had a very up and down season. He had the 2nd place finish at Watkins, Glen, and of course here today already in Mid-Ohio, podium at Portimao. But the DNF at Nordschleife had to hurt because that was a big points race because of how long it was. That was a race that his rivals such as Max Simmons got a 3rd place in. Martin Edmonds got a 5th place in. Rene Ermer was a winner. And that has put Andreasen a little bit behind the 8 ball.
And MJG.
Max Simmons still leads the way from Javier Vega, Martin Edmonds. Then it's Andreasen and Barthez. The top 5 are within a second of each other, basically. James Butler having a notably better race 2 than his race 1. He's up into 6th place. Kazchuk, Chazo, Vega, and Ermer rounding off the top 10. Theorolf is back in 11th, followed by Barrier and Casta. How is Max Simmons' season gone?
The worst.
4th place at Oschersleben, 5th place at Watkins Glen, a 5th and 11th at Portimao, and finally broke his podium egg with the 3rd place at Nordschleife. Now he would like to add a win to that tally.
All he has to do is put everybody in the wall.
Doesn't even have to do that. He's in the front right now.
He's going to lap everybody and start putting them in the wall.
I mean, it's an option. Javier Vega has shown flashes all season long, but just that 4th place at Portimao is his best result. So he's looking to finally come good today. And he's running in 2nd place with a chance at victory. And getting a little bit wide there out of turn 1, but keeps it together heading into the turn 2 complex. Edmonds taking a very defensive line there to keep Andreasen behind him. He's hugging that inside curve. Romain Barthez in the GoPro car, running in 5th place. How has Barthez's season gone? Pretty well. He had the podium to start the season off at Oschersleben. DNF at Watkins Glen was unfortunate, but a 6th and an 8th at Portimao, and of course 4th place at Nordschleife. 6th place in race 1 today, so he's pretty much been picking up some solid results and putting up an impressive little pile of points. Down the inside goes Henrik Andreasen against Martin Edmonds, and that will be 3rd place for the Norwegian. Barthez taking a weird line through the carousel there. Losing a ton of ground. Remains in 5th place for the time being. James Butler and Magic Kazchuk in the background, then Ichazo, Ermer, and Vega. Side-by-side action, Andreasen versus Javier Vega. Vega hanging on to 2nd place for now. We'll have the inside line here through the keyhole. Andreasen can't hang it around the outside. And Martin Edmonds even tries to take a little sniff as they make the run down to China Beach. Holding on for now. Vega goes defensive. Edmonds is going to go wide. 3 wide. Heading into China Beach. Here we go. Vega is going to hang on, I think. Whoa. No. That door was open. Andreasen trying to get through, but the inside line goes to Vega into the next corner. Barthez and Edmonds chomping at the bit there as we watch Ricardo Costa recover from this bend. Oh, big power slide by Vega. He's off into the wall and in the grass. He's going to lose 3 spots and drop back to 5th place. Andreasen, Edmonds, and Barthez all through. And Ricardo Costa rejoining the track. You think Ricardo Costa just really likes the camera coming to him, so like he beaches it on the grass every so often, be like, "Hey, camera guy."
Start doing something creative. Do some barrel rolls.
Max Simmons is loving the battle behind him because it's allowed him to build a 1.3 second gap here with 5.5 minutes to go. Rolf has worked his way back into the top 10, displacing Vic Vega. Edmonds looking for his 3rd podium of the season. And North America's been a happy hunting ground because his previous podium came at Watkins Glen, won earlier today, and on pace for a 3rd. Four minutes and change to go. Probably about 3 laps.
Give or take 17 laps.
Definitely not.
What?
Slow down penalty for Ricardo Costa. Andreasen on the attack, so he's closed that gap up. Simmons had a comfortable gap, and it is gone. Martin Edmonds is also only a half second behind this fight. Simmons just not really gotten the pace out of that car that we're used to seeing from him. Not in this series, but this is a man who's been dominating the ESR racing scene for a while. Number of titles to his name.
Well, I mean, it has gotten pretty old, so.
Luciano Achaza with a spin out. He'll drop back behind Rene Armour, but that's about it. Tobias Theorolf has dropped to the back of the pack in 13th place. Suspects to me that he might be a DNF today. So a chance to take some points out of the championship leader.
So like when Sonic hits a wall or something and they lose all the rings?
Kind of. James Butler has looked very solid in 6th place, if I do say so. Having a very quality run. One of his better ones, I think. In fact, yep, this would be his best finish of the season, as he his best finish previously was 7th at Nordschleife as Ricardo Costa again touring the grass. Henrik Andreasen looking for the lead. This will turn to the inside line for him here. No, Simmons moves across. Gets the right of way. Little touch to the bumper. Little push. They'll head on to the final lap, and that's Javier Vega off track. It looks like him and James Butler may have come to blows.
Just drive really close to each other and try and beat each other up.
Also, Roman Barthez' car has become so fast that it is not actually visible to the naked eye. Promotes James Butler into 4th place. Still in the lead. Solid day for ESR, Byron. We currently have 4 of the top 5.
Well, I mean, if we don't have 17 of the top 5, are we really even cheating effectively enough?
It's just Henrik Andreasen hanging on there for the Tugas crew.
He's going to put them all on the wall.
Final time through Thunder Valley into the carousel. And Simmons just needs to pin it to the apex here and take home victory. Around the final corner he comes. Flash of the headlights and the victory going to the American Max Simmons. Henrik Andreasen and Martin Edmonds will join him for the Shanpagan. James Butler, Magic Kaszczuk rounding off the top 5, followed by Javier Vega, Rene Ermer, Roman Barthez, Luciano Echazo, Vic Vega, your top 10, Bertrand Barrier, 11th place, followed by Ricardo Costa. We lost Tobias Thierolf. We lost Andy Darnell.
R.I.P.
So championship standings, Tobias Thierolf leading with 119 points, over 80.5 for Rene Ermer, 75.5 for Max Simmons. Then it is Martin Edmonds, Henrik Andreasen, Roman Barthez, Bertrand Barrier, Javier Vega, Magic Kaszczuk, and James Butler, your top 10. And in the team's championship, Tugas Racing number 1, that is Thierolf, Andreasen, and Rene Ermer lead the way. From Canadian Pole 2.2, that is Martin Edmonds, Magic Kaszczuk, Andrew D. And the orange overclocked racing crew, that is Mauricio Delgado, James P. Butler, and Max Simmons. There's a bunch of other teams as well. Byron, you have any final thoughts on the action from Mid-Ohio?
Technically, everything in the universe is either a potato or not a potato.